Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 5 chip brands I only ate after moving to America. And as a crisp connoisseur, as I am myself, I'm going to enjoy this. But I mean, in terms of, I'm going to say chip or crisp. When I say crisp, I mean chip. Crisp brands. I mean, you got Pringles and Doritos that came from the US. Other ones, I mean, you've got Lay's, but we have Walkers here. And I think Walkers were first, right? Walkers were the ones in the UK, and I think they sort of went to the US but changed their name. I think that's how it was. I might be wrong, to be fair, but I think Walkers were before. What is the most popular chip brand in the US? Would it be Lay's? Or, like, I guess it probably would be Lay's, because here it's definitely Walkers, because they just make so many different varieties. Doritos and Pringles, like, they're obviously big here as well, but they're like, then you're not going to just get them for, like, taking them to your lunch for work and stuff. I don't know. It's just, because Doritos... I mean, maybe Doritos, I don't know. But Doritos are sort of more like a snack food you'll have when you're watching a film kind of thing, or like watching sports or something. Pringles kind of the same, and plus Pringles don't really have packets. They only come in like the boxes, so it's just a bit more awkward to carry them. But these are ones that he's only ate after moving to the US. So I mean, I have no idea what they would be. I'm trying to think, like, from what I've seen in videos, Takis, I guess. They're ones that I've tried. But other than that, I'm not too sure. We're going to check this out and see. Hopefully going to enjoy. Links are also in the description to my Patreon, where you can see reactions to movies, TV series that I can't post onto YouTube. But let's jump into this and see some of these brands.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. And one of those memos pertains to chips, or as we say in Britain, crisps. Growing up in Britain, I was no stranger to crisps. In fact, in the late 80s, my diet consisted exclusively of Monster Munch, Hula Hoops, Walker's Salt and Vinegar, Quavers, Space Raiders, Twiglets.
Space Raiders, wait, Space Raiders were in the 80s? Space Raiders were my go-to crisp when I was growing up. You'd go, like, I'd be like a 10-year-old going to the park, going to the shop on the way, corner shop, getting Space Raiders, a drink, just a cheap version at the shop, and yeah, that would literally be what I ran off for the whole day. Just probably 2 packs of Space Raiders. God, they were so good when I was young. I've not had them for years, though.
And the occasional banana. And then, still a child, I moved to America at 26. My world turned upside
As a
down.
child.
Everything I thought I knew about human existence was shattered in an instant. None of the crisps that had so faithfully sustained me adorned the shelves of American supermarkets. Actually, that's not entirely true. Some American brands, like Doritos and Pringles, had long made their way to Britain, into my mouth, through my digestive tract, and it doesn't matter where after that. But for the most part, they were severely outnumbered by the immense collage of unfamiliar crisp packets now on display within the fortified citadel of Walmart. I mean, sure, I recognize Doritos, but not the 4,000 brands that rhymed with it. This was a minefield of cross-cultural uncertainty. The only way I was going to navigate it was by eating it. Eating the minefield, not my best metaphor. Nonetheless, in the 13 years that I've lived in the United States, I've taken my first bite of a truly uncountable number of crisp brands. Here are all 5 of them.
Cheetos, of course.
One brand of crisps that initially seemed to be saying, hey, the coolest thing about me is that I rhyme with Doritos, is the curious cheese puff snack, Cheetos. But then I learned the cold hard truth about Cheetos and Doritos. Cheetos predate Doritos, and like Doritos, in fact rhyme with Fritos. And that's because Cheetos and Doritos are manufactured by Frito-Lay, a subsidiary of PepsiCo.
PepsiCo owns everything.
In a much newer revelation, I recently discovered that Cheetos were and are sold in the UK. I just managed to go 20...
Yeah, I mean, they're not as easy to get. You'll get them from American shops, but they're also... They're not really in shops, to be fair, in the UK. You can get them in, like, bigger shops, but they're not as freely available. Nowhere near as freely available as, like, Doritos, for example, which you can find literally everywhere.
6 years without acknowledging their existence. After all, when it came to satisfying the part of my brain crying out for cheese-flavoured puff snacks, Britain already had its own more popular brand, What's.
See, I prefer What's-Its to Cheetos. I don't mind Cheetos, they're not bad, because you don't really get Cheetos that are like this, do you? The Cheeto ones are like the ones you've shown, like they're sort of a bit more stick-like. I assume you can get Cheetos like this as well. But I don't know, for me, What's-Its are just what I'm used to. But Cheetos, you can't go wrong with them.
In fact, at some point in history known as the 90s, a rivalry had formed on UK shopping aisles between Cheetos, owned in the UK by Walkers, and Wotsits, then owned by Golden Wonder. However, after Wotsits was sold to Walkers in 2003, the two brands became besties and are now sold alongside each other, even though British people definitely choose Wotsits every time.
Ruffles.
Here's my first memory of Ruffles. In the month after I moved to America, Thanksgiving, several birthdays, and Christmas all happened in quick succession. During these events, my eyes were opened to two American customs: holding large family get-togethers and dipping things into stuff. And one of the things that everybody was dipping into stuff was Ruffles.
I've never seen these before.
Ruffles are a brand of potato chip named so because of their resemblance to ruffled fabric. I read that on Wikipedia. They're crunchy, addictive, and manufactured by Frito-Lay, a subsidiary of PepsiCo.
Oh my God.
And here's the latest plot twist. Ruffles are also sold in the UK. It's just that, as with Agatha Christie novels, neither country can quite agree on the name.
Oh.
In the UK, Ruffles are known quite unoriginally as Walker.
What? Oh, okay. That's a completely different branding. I've had these a few times. I've only think I've had the paprika ones, and they're all right, to be fair. I mean, I like crisps that are shaped like this. They're just a bit more satisfying. I was not going to assume that was the case at all. These are decent crisps, to be fair, but I think the packaging on these ones is a lot nicer than. Like, it stands out more than, I can't find it, but the US version.
Walker's Max, and as you may have guessed from the name, the UK manufacturer is Walker's once again. This will be important later, but in the meantime, the fun is only just beginning.
Funyuns?
This one is hilarious. Funyuns, get it? They're fun, and they...
Oh, I did try these. I've done these in a trying American snacks video. Oh, I got sent these. I think I got sent these. And I think I just ate them. Because I don't mind onion. I mean, onion's not my favourite, but in terms of flavoured crisps, you can't really go wrong. But yeah, I did try these before.
Taste like onion rings. The people who came up with that must have been absolutely wetting themselves. Actually, though, it turns out that the name was the work of a university professor whose suggestion only got through because Onions was already taken.
Wow.
My first and so far only experience of Funyuns occurred more than a decade ago. It was among the darkest of all of my days in America. I had just completed a brutal 12-hour shift at the call centre. Nobody was in the shared break room except for Stinky Derek, and the vending machine was empty except for one solitary item: a sad old bag of Funyuns. Now here's the thing. I was really hungry, right? Lunchtime was a distant memory, and even then I'd only eaten grits. I had no choice. Reluctantly, I plucked that last $1.20 from my pocket and temporarily became Funyuns' 7th customer that year.
Your colleagues would not have liked you, goddamn.
The problem was, after this, I quickly severed ties. You see, here's the harsh reality. Funyuns are not fun. They taste like stale onions, and my situation was compounded further by the sight of Stinky Derek picking rolled gold pretzel crumbs from his beard. Oh, and did I mention? They're manufactured by Frito-Lay,
Wow.
a subsidiary of PepsiCo. And so this all begs the question, who is Frito and who is Lay? Bring on our last two entries.
So I remember trying them. I don't actually remember if I liked them, but I think I did. I think I don't mind when it comes to onion crisps. I think I like them, but I can't remember what my thoughts were, to be fair. It was probably a good 2 years ago. Fritos.
The short answer is that Frito is itself a brand of corn chip manufactured by a certain subsidiary of PepsiCo.
Oh my
A sort
God.
of deep-fried cornmeal product, Fritos are the mainstay of Super Bowl.
Oh no, these were the... Wait, did I say Fritos at the start? Oh, I think I meant Takis. Did I say Takis at the start? I didn't like these ones. The chili flavoured ones I think I had of these. I didn't like them. It tasted too chili-ish.
Parties, probably,
Obviously.
and whatever it is people watch on Friday night these days. I remember munching on a handful of Fritos myself during the marriage of Prince William and Kate Middleton. It was sort of a cultural exchange, a way of watching the royal family from an American perspective. And let me tell you, Americans, you are wild. Anyway, the long answer.
Yeah, the chili ones, this is like chili con carne flavour, right? It was too chili-ish for me. Again, that's the whole point, but I don't think I like these ones.
Is that Frito was a company in its own right. Charles Elmer Doolin founded the Frito Company in 1932 at the height of the Great Depression, and if you think that was brave, he operated it out of his mum's kitchen. I'd be too worried about breaking the crockery. Anyway, Fritos were his flagship product, and as you've already deduced, they were a huge success. But in 1961, the Frito company would officially merge with another chip business, and that brings us on to this.
Okay, I think we had Pepsi and Co again. Lay's.
You know what? Sometimes it feels like I'm living in the Matrix. Admittedly, this could be something to do with the trench coat and my ability to run across walls, but during those early days in America when all crisp packets seemed unfamiliar, there was one that both did and did not. Lay's crisps. Upon my first crunch,
Literally the same looking crisps packaging as we have here.
they were unfamiliar in that Lay's crisps didn't exist in Britain, but familiar in that they look exactly like Walker's flagship brand, Walker's Crisps. And I don't just mean the cut of the crisp. Everything from the package design to the logo was eerily similar. Sure, unlike in Britain, you can't find the golden flavour that is prawn cocktail, but the visual similarities were still jarring. So what was really...
What? You can't find prawn and cocktail flavour Walkers, what?
package design to the logo was eerily similar. Sure, unlike in Britain, you can't find the golden flavour that is prawn cocktail, but the visual similarities were still jarring. So what was really going on? To find out, I had to switch on the flux capacitor and head back in time to the year that a man called Herman Lay entered the potato chip business. Unbelievably, that year was also 1932.
Jeez.
Anyway, Mr. Lay began selling potato chips in
Wait, so Lay's were before Walkers?
Nashville before being hired as a salesman for Atlanta's Barrett Food Products Company, whose plants he later purchased before forming H.W. Lay and Company. By the mid-40s, Lay's potato chips were born, and around that same time, the company began a collaboration with the Frito Company. This resulted in their eventual merger in 1961. 4 years later, the newly formed company would merge with Pepsi-Cola, and PepsiCo was created to serve as the parent company. But I can hear Uncle Toby asking, "Ooh, Lawrence, what does all of this have to do with the Lay-Walker resemblance?" Well, here's the thing. One of the chief reasons Frito-Lay merged with PepsiCo was to expand its distribution overseas.
Wow. So Lay's was way before Walkers. That is blowing my mind because the way Walkers is like promoted and like advertising here, it's like sort of it seems like Britain's crisp. So I assumed Walkers was like the crisp from day dot, like from the 1905 or something. That has absolutely shocked me.
And from the 1980s onward, it did just that.
Wait, so Walkers? I'm gonna search after. Walkers only started in the 1980s. That can't be true.
Merging with existing crisp companies across the world, Lay's crisps are now sold in over 20 countries.
Okay, so the Sabritas, Margarita, Walkers, Chipsy. I can't say that. Smiths. Wow, Lay's is killing it.
However, in 5 of those countries, the original name is still used to preserve brand loyalty, but with the Lay's ribbon incorporated onto the packet. So here's Australia's version, and Israel's, and Mexico's, and Colombia's. And yes, following Frito-Lay's acquisition of Walker's in 1989, the UK's. Of course, each country enjoys a wide variety of flavours. For every roast chicken or smoky bacon in the UK, there's barbecue or sour cream and onion in the US. But all the variety in the world won't change the fact that all of these crisp manufacturers are subsidiaries of the exact same company, PepsiCo.
Oh my
Here's
god.
hoping that nobody tells them about Pringles. That's it for this episode.
So I'm just gonna see quickly. When were Walker's crisps invented? 1948. So I guess Walker's branding before Lay's. Oh, so it looked a lot different. It's not really showing, but I guess this was the badge or whatever, the logo. That has absolutely blown my mind. I always thought Walker's was just one of those brands that was just before Lay's. That has surprised me. So wait, he said when it was, but I'm just gonna see when was Lay's. Oh, so Lay's was 1961, 1931. Wow. Lay's is an iconic American brand with a rich history dating back to 1932. That is crazy. That's really shocked me. Wait, are there any British crisp brands? Let me just see. I mean, obviously there are, right? Walker's is, but I can't really say that anymore. Walker's is pretty much just the same. Okay, let's just see these. I don't think any of these crisps are around the world. That's the thing, right? Sensations. Oh, but they're Walkers. I've not had these. I think I've only had them like once. Knick Knacks. I used to like these, but they're not really what I'd go to. They're kind of no, they're not actually. Monster Munch are like classics. I've not seen these in years. Oh my days. What's-its are clear. What's-its are my favourite. But damn, that was a little look into this and a little, I guess, a little learning as well, because I didn't know a lot of this stuff. But let's see some of the comments. If someone would have told me 20 years ago as a teenager that I would one day enjoy watching a man compare potato chip brands, I would not have believed them. Things change. I feel ill, man. This video is brought to you by Frito-Lay, a subsidiary of PepsiCo. PepsiCo just own the crisp industry, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. Cape Cod kettle chips first had these. Kettle chips, right? Let me just see. Because we have. It's an American one, because there's a kettle. Oh, that's what I thought. So it's an American manufacturer, because I knew about kettle chips because they have like a big thing in my city, but with a European Middle Eastern headquarters in Norwich, United Kingdom, which is the weirdest place to have it, by the way. So I guess kettle chips are big in the US as well, because I do like kettle chips. To be fair, they're pretty decent. They're a bit more bougie. I mean, they're not actually that bougie, but they're just a bit like more flavoursome, I guess. Well, there we go. Kettle chips, their headquarters are based in my city. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and yeah, until next time, peace.